Okay, so good afternoon. How are you today?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
All right.
Trần Đình Minh Quân, and I'm looking forward to getting good results from this IELTS speaking test. Thank you.
Okay, good. So my name is Ngọc Anh, and I'll be your examiner for today. Okay, so are you ready for our speaking session?
Yes, I'm more than ready.
Okay, good. So here you can see my shared file, right? So, as you know, our speaking session will last for approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and it will include three parts. And if you are ready, so now we will start our part one, okay?
Yes.
All right. So, first of all, to start our speaking session, could you tell me are you working or studying right now?
I'm currently studying. I'm a student of Nguyễn Khuyến High School. I consider myself a workaholic, so I believe that by studying in this school, it could fit my academic endeavor and, could fulfill my dream of being among the best English users of the world.
Okay, so among all of your studies, what do you consider the most interesting?
I cannot bear in mind anything rather than English. I have always been having a passion for it, and since I was really small, I had started to learn English, and nowadays I still keep up with it and almost just live with it.
Okay, so do you have any plan in the future for what are you going to do as a job?
So firstly, I think I'm going to accomplish anything possible in IELTS. And next up, I'm going in for the English proficiency contest for national English students users. And I hope that I can accomplish anything that I take part in or I go in for.
All right. Okay, so next I'll ask you some personal questions, and our topic today is holidays. First of all, do you prefer spending holidays with friends or with family?
I do not, I just say not really with friends or with family, either could work. Like when you spend time with friends, personally, I feel that I can be a bit more relaxed, can decompress well. And even with my family, I could do the same. But, for family settings, it feels like you need to be a bit more formal. So, yeah, I think either could work.
All right. So what kind of holiday accommodation do you like to stay in?
I would say a resort or a villa because there you could organize many activities and you could not only decompress yourself, you could not only rest, you can not only sleep and do many trivial stuffs, but you can um throw cautions to the wind and try swimming pools or game thrillers.
Okay, so what plans do you have for your next holiday?
As I have always been hustling for English competitions and contests, my next holiday would definitely be something pretty awesome, I guess. So I'm looking forward to traveling across the globe to many countries, as many as possible.
All right, so is your city or region a good place for other people to visit on holiday?
Mm, I would never recommend anyone to uh have a holiday in my hometown. You know, because here we tend to focus on let's say the dwellers and nothing else. We do not tend to promote tourism. We do not have good services, and I would not recommend anyone to visit our places just for holidays.
Okay, so that is the end of your speaking part 1. And now we will move on to our part 2. So in this part 2, you will have to talk about a topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And now you will have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. And you can make some notes to have if you wish. And as you can see, on the screen, on the shared screen, here is our topic today. Describe a car journey you made that took longer than expected. Great. Do you have any questions regarding this topic?
No, I have no questions.
Okay, and your 1 minute starts now. Okay, your 1 minute is over, and now it's time for you to talk.
Hey, so I'm gonna talk about car journey that took longer than I expected. So it was actually my journey to Hanoi. I was planning to meet my dad after a very hardworking school year. It should be a 90-kilometer drive and should be very shallow for only about 1 hour and 30 minutes. I was traveling there with my sister. Then suddenly we encountered a scene of highway accident. I could still vividly remember the reports upon that. It was a minor crash actually, but it was created by an individual trying to attempt lane weaving. And because he couldn't control his vehicle, he suddenly crashed into one of the cars beyond in front of him. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the scene, and I felt quite relieved about that. Nowadays, when I talk about that, I still feel a little bit disturbed, but can still, I would say, relieved again because it could have been much worse had it been an accident, had it been a fatal accident with anyone having to die, you know. And yeah, I believe that in the future, by listening to the reports, drivers or even me myself can try to avoid any disturbance or delays. That's all about it.
All right, thank you. And now here is some follow-up questions for your part 3. All right, regarding driving a car, how interested are young people in your country in learning to drive?
Uh, I currently see my Vietnam, my country, isn't an actually wealthy and well-developed region. So in fact, the number of people who owns private cars is still very scarce by any means. So I don't see young people in Vietnam quite interested in learning to drive. Just a very small proportion of them, actually.
Okay, so what are the differences between driving in the countryside and driving in the city?
When you're driving in the countryside, you can you know, the roads are quite it may not be as busy as the cities. So when you're driving in the countryside, you don't really need to worry a lot about obstacles. But when you're driving in the city, you have to stay fully alert because anything could happen. Especially in metropolitans, there are a lot of vehicles from small to big, and accidents could come anyways. So I think the biggest difference is that we need to stay alert more when driving in the city.
All right. So, do you consider most drivers where you live to be good drivers?
I do think so because in my city, just even as a matter of regional differences and distinctions, I feel like people in Namding City, they are types of very careful, and they also try to have medical checkups for cars, I suppose. Regularly, they have maintenance for their cars. So yeah, I think they are very good drivers, very careful drivers.
Okay. So, mentioning about cars, do you think electric cars are quite popular in these days in your country?
Mm, even though I feel like um cars are not so popular in my country, I see that people in Vietnam, they are gradually transitioning to using electric cars more and more. And I suppose that electric cars are actually very common, and you can find it almost anywhere in metropolitans like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City. And to sum up, yeah, they are very popular in Vietnam.
Okay. So, well, in what ways could more people be persuaded to buy electric cars?
So firstly, by organizing campaigns about environmental issues and pressing um, global warming, we can promote the sense of protection for the earth. And by using electric cars instead of petrol cars, we can encourage people to use more of this make. And moreover, I believe that by introducing this into the market in big markets, people will just automatically purchase them because I know every one of us is already aware of this, the current problems.
Okay. So, do you think all cars will be electric one day?
Yes, I think that one day, all cars would be electric. Just imagine we are having to face I would say global boiling because the earth is becoming too hot, and petrol cars, they just release too much smoke as well as carbon dioxide. And governments one day, they would make concerted efforts to replace all petrol cars with electric cars. And yes, I believe that is a very likely possibility.
All right, so that is the end of your speaking test. Thank you so much for your joining today with me, and good luck. Okay, thank you so much.